Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
I'm ABC's Em Nguyen in Washington. As COVID-19 cases drop nationwide, some states are starting to pull back mask mandates, but some health officials say it's too early. The latest coming up.
Feels colder this morning, so do what we do around here during February, and that's bundle up for the meantime and hope for a warm up later on. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, February 8th.
Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. Yes, bundle up, but in layers.
That's right. It was really nice yesterday afternoon, Mike. Hoping for more of the same based on our conversations of yesterday.
I thought when you said do what you do around here in February is like wear just about everything. So
have everything ready.
Yeah, heavy coats in the morning, shorts in the afternoon. So that'll be the case this week.
Okay.
Yeah, good looking prize winning week though. I mean, yeah, yesterday was absolutely beautiful and that's the way today is going to be. We've got lots of clear skies out there and been seeing a few planes kind of flying around. It's cold, 32 Randolph, 31 Port SA. We are still just above freezing and then lots of 20s even out there around Helotes and Bernie Stage, 25 right now in Kerrville. Hint of a breeze and doesn't take much with these temperatures to put the wind chill down to 29 at the airport. It feels like 24 right now at Randolph and Hondo. It feels like 22 degrees, but then a huge warm up. As a matter of fact, we're going to more than double our current temperature later on today. Mountain cedar on the moderate side. Mold is low, so we'll drop down a couple of more notches. I think we hit freezing here in town. Before it's all said and done, warm up the bus, warm up the car just a little bit, and then, like I said, more than double that later on. 66. About a normal high temperature. We will continue a gradual warm up, not anything just off the charts, but a gradual warm up throughout the rest of the week before the next front comes through. Details on that in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you very much, Mike. Now to the latest on a shooting investigation on the east side of town. San Antonio police say a man and a teenage boy were caught in the gunfire. Happened last night around 9 at an apartment complex in the 1300 block of Rigsby Avenue near I-10. Investigators tell us it started with a fight, then the driver of a blue sedan pulled up to the scene. We're told a man in the car started shooting, then took off, possibly with another person in the vehicle. If you have any information about the shooting, please call police.
A federal judge has awarded $224 million to 17 Sutherland Springs families. That's a result of a lawsuit those families filed against the federal government. The mass shooting in Sutherland Springs happened back in 2017 at the hands of Devin Kelly. Kelly served in the Air Force, and it was later discovered the Air Force did not submit his criminal history into a database. The families say doing that would have prevented him from buying guns. Last year, a judge ruled that the federal government was 60% responsible for the plaintiff's injuries. And the victims' families filed a lawsuit, and last year a judge ruled that the federal government was 60% responsible for the plaintiff's injuries because of that failure to report the information. The plaintiffs are all families of those killed or injured. We're still working on gathering all the details about the impact of the court decision. You can look for that information on our website at KSAT.com.
New COVID-19 cases declining or stable in all 50 states, prompting several Northeast states to announce plans to lift mask mandates in schools.
But many are divided on the issue as the Omicron surge continues to take more than 2,400 lives a day.
ABC's Em Nguyen is in Washington with the latest.
This morning, COVID-19 infections are falling across the nation. And now some states, once epicenters for the virus, are announcing masks will no longer be required in schools starting in about a month. New Jersey's governor says he's leaving restrictions up to the school districts.
We have to learn how to live with COVID as we move from a pandemic to the endemic phase of this virus.
Delaware, Connecticut, and Oregon also planning to end school mask mandates, with New York's governor signaling she may make an announcement on the issue tomorrow. California is ending its indoor mask mandate next week, but keeping the rules in place for school children, at least for now. This comes as hospitalizations are down nearly 50%, with new cases dropping 61% since mid-January. Nearly 632,000 kids tested positive last week. Some health professionals say it's too soon to end mask mandates because vaccination rates are not high enough yet among the school-age population.
Vaccination rates are the lowest in individuals under age 40. We're going to see school-based outbreaks at a time when we're trying to return to normal, but we're actively making decisions that go against that.
I know that kids don't want to necessarily wear the mask, but it's really for their overall protection.
And the nation marking a grim milestone. The Washington National Cathedral tolling its bell 900 times to recognize 900,000 COVID-19 deaths. As congressional leaders gathered on the Capitol steps in remembrance for those lost to the virus. Health experts say many of these deaths could have been prevented, as just 64% of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated, along with just 39% of eligible children. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
And right now on KSAT.com, COVID continues to send unvaccinated Texans to the hospital with serious illness every day and putting those facilities under more pressure to find room for new patients. Hospital staff has never been in shorter supply, which strains all departments, including emergency rooms, respiratory therapy, and even labor and delivery. Now doctors fear they'll have to start making heartbreaking decisions in order to save the most lives possible. You can read more about this story on our website at KSAT.com.
Just about 4:36, 34 degrees.
Big news for DeJounte Murray. After the break, we are talking Spurs.
And the All-Star break, too. Yeah, there's the hook. Outside with TransGuide right now, as we were coming into this morning, there was a big accident listed down on 37 at I-10 on the near southeast side. Don't see that popping up on any of these cameras right now, so hopefully that's clear. 281 at St. Mary's, wide open. Quite a bit of traffic in a few other spots.
And taking a look outside with live cam. Yes, we are expecting sunshine today, but for now, we are starting at a cold 34 degrees. We'll be right back.
Quick look at morning sports. Great news this morning for Spurs fans. DeJounte Murray was named to the Western Conference All-Star squad as an injury replacement for Draymond Green. Comes after Green had openly campaigned for Murray to replace him last week when the All-Star reserves were announced. Murray enjoying a career year. He scored 10 of his career 14 triple-doubles this season. He's one away from a franchise record set by someone named David Robinson, whoever that is. Murray is also enjoying a career high in points with over 19 and a half per game. Meanwhile, our Spurs got in some practice yesterday ahead of their arduous rodeo road trip. This year, the Spurs will play 5 games before the break. They'll follow that up with 3 more games. Here's a look at what's next. Tomorrow they'll take on the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Tip-off set for 6 our time. Right now the Spurs are 20 and 34. But congratulations to DeJounte Murray. Going to be playing in the All-Star game.
It's very exciting.
Fantastic news.
And go Spurs go. Time now 4:40 and 34 degrees for now. 1 year later, still to come, we're honoring those who made a big difference during last year's February winter storm.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an ABC News exclusive.
He was definitely selfless, caring, loving, determined.
The Navy searching for answers as Kyle Mullen, a candidate in the SEAL selection process, is dead and another sailor hospitalized just hours after successfully completing the most punishing week in the 6-month assessment, what's known as Hell Week. Overnight, Mullen's friend since childhood describing the passion and drive the 24-year-old brought to his pursuit of becoming a SEAL.
He said, what's the most elite thing I could do in the world? And that's become a Navy SEAL, so that's what he set out to do.
If anyone could do it, it's Kyle.
And we'll have much more of our exclusive interview, plus the latest on the investigation, coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kaylee Hartung, ABC News Los Angeles.
Hard to believe we're 1 year past last winter's deep freeze around here. We're honoring some of the people who got us through it.
Nurses topped that list. They also dealt with outages and freezing conditions, but aside from their own challenges to help the rest of us deal with the disaster in the middle of the pandemic.
Stephania Jimenez spoke with a head nurse from University Health to hear his story.
I remember driving to work and seeing cars along Medical Drive or Babcock just spinning out of control.
That's patient care coordinator Matt Lasano from University Health. Like many of us, he remembers the nightmare that was last February's freeze. Still, he had to go to work then. As head nurse, he understood that lives were on the line, so he and his nursing team got creative. Some worked longer shifts, while other nurses hunkered down at the hospital, turning spaces into hotel rooms.
Some of our nurses, they spent the night. And other charge nurses like myself, they slept in their offices.
And they never stopped caring for patients they couldn't. Because of the power outages and dangerous road conditions, it was taking longer for patients to show up to the hospital, and that complicated things.
The patients who presented here to the emergency department were a lot sicker. And they were sicker because they were waiting to get care.
And then there were the dialysis patients. Matt says hospital staff did everything possible to make sure they got treatment.
And we were able to find one of the community one of the community dialysis centers that was able to go ahead and take patients.
While it was a lot to take on, Matt admits he and his staff also gained a lot last February. His department has since expanded its communication system and continues to prepare for its next emergency, no matter what it is.
We have mock drills throughout the year, and that helps us plan to go ahead and know how soon our staff can get here to be able to go ahead and plan how we need to be successful should another disaster occur. We're here to take care of you. We take pride. Our staff loves what they do, and they are great at what they do, and we're here for you.
Stefania Jimenez, KSAT 12 News.
One thing that's going to make it easier for nurses and hospitals in the event of another outage is a program started by our electric company, CPS Energy. It's for people with dire health who need or rely on dialysis or other equipment that needs to be plugged in at all times.
This program ensures that our most vulnerable people have constant access to power. However, they have to let CPS Energy know. If that's you or someone you know, call the power company.
Now, this is one of the many topics Stephen and Stefania will discuss in our brand new streaming program. It's called The Breakdown with Steph and Steve, and it debuts tomorrow at 7 p.m. on our website, KSAT.com.
And a quick look at the roads out there with TransGuide. Things were looking pretty quiet at last check at Loop 410 at Starcrest.
That's the way we like it. All right, Tuesday morning, Mike Ostrich, down to 34 degrees. Could we touch freezing this morning?
I think so, because the clear skies and, a little bit of a breeze out there. But, a lot of people and still they keep going, it's not going to happen again. It's going to happen. Well, that was such an anomaly. That's like going back to the floods in 98 and 2002, saying it's going to, we're going to have 16 inches of rain again. Well, it's such an anomaly. But even like last week, we do have a freeze every once in a while.
We do, and it tends to be in the vicinity of Valentine's Day. Yep. So I'd like to think that last week was our taste of, and then we're done. That's kind of what I'm hoping.
That's what I hope as well.
Yeah. But as we know, February is always a squirrely month around here. Now, this week is just going to be a prize winner. And like this picture was from a couple of days ago, beautiful sunset. And thank you for the KSAT Connect picture. Nothing going on out there right now. Got a lot of clear skies. You can just kind of feel and just look and see how crisp and clear the air was when you walk outside this morning. Wind chill temperatures, though, there's a pretty good bite to it out there in Hondo. 22, 24, Randolph is what it feels like, and 29 out there at the airport. And here's the water vapor imagery. The measure moisture upstairs in the atmosphere. It's very dry down here. And then when you get the dark shade and even then this kind of brownish shade there, that means the air upstairs is bone dry, and that means we're going to have some just gorgeous, gorgeous blue skies out there. Obviously, nothing is showing up on the satellite picture right now. And once again, that's what's in store for the rest of the week. Nothing. There's not, now, unfortunately, not even a drop of rain. Thank goodness we did have some decent rain last week, but there is nothing going on. So we are just going to have plenty of sunshine around here. Cool mornings, nice afternoons. We'll add still a few degrees each and every day around here. And there's the main flow up there in the upper level winds up to the north of us. Also, dew point temperatures, like I mentioned, how dry it is down here at the surface. They tried to come up just a little bit, just as the low temperatures, and that's going to hold low temperatures up 1 or 2 more degrees each and every day. Peaks on Friday. Then there's the next front that comes through here by the weekend, and that'll knock the humidity out of here. And as that front comes through, it may try to squeeze out a couple of showers, but the chances of any rain are maybe 20% at best, and that would be on Saturday. Around the country, it's cold up there to the north. Nothing just really, really off the charts as of right now, just what you would expect this time of year. So the forecast for us, again, today, it's cold in the morning, and like Steph was saying off the top of the show, layers. Because even by noon, you can kind of get rid of the heavy jacket, and then by later on this afternoon, we make it up into the mid-60s. Normal average high temperature this time of year. Plenty of sunshine around here. And tomorrow won't be quite as cold. Still down in the 30s, still below normal. 40 Thursday morning, 44 on Friday. blazing sunshine, ample sunshine all week long. We make it up to 70 to round out the work week. Then that front comes through here, and that's going to knock temperatures down. I think we only get up to about 60 on Saturday. We're going to have some more clouds around here. A couple of showers. Not really a great chance for rain. And look what's on the graphic on the right-hand side, gentlemen.
Balloons?
Balloons and a flower.
Or just hearts and a rose?
Oh, they look like, well, we made them balloons.
I was messing around.
No, it's hearts that are just beating with abundant love for your Valentine.
Even better. That's very romantic.
You can use that line if you need to, guys.
Oh, Mike Oster, hey.
Helping you out as much as we can. It's our public
You
service.
have less than a week to get more romantic, okay?
Boys are sticking together here leading up to that, so.
We are. 450, about 34 degrees.
And the animated Disney film Encanto is still topping the charts. We're going to have that story and more next in your morning Spotlight News.
Here are always romantic lottery numbers. Pick three numbers, 807 Fireball 3. Daily 4 numbers, 8117 Fireball 0.
It's romantic if you win. Catch 5, 4, 7, 12, 29, 30. And your text is 2-step 1, 17, 23, 29. Bonus ball 32. Your Powerball numbers 5, 15, 38, 47, 65, Powerball 10, Power Play 3. Good luck.
This is the Jeopardy! National College Championship.
Jeopardy! Once again coming to primetime. Tonight it's the start of the Jeopardy! National College Championship. Maya Bialik back as host, and she tells me it's great watching the students battle it out. And in fact, if her teens ever ended up on the game show,
I would consider that I don't have to do anything else as a parent. If my kid got on Jeopardy, I'd be like, whatever else they do in life, my work is done, and I'm going to have a Mai Tai and go sit on a beach.
the Jeopardy! National College Championship debuts tonight on ABC. They're still talking about him. The song We Don't Talk About Bruno from the animated Disney film Encanto is #1 for a second week on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart. And that's the first time in history any Disney song has topped the chart for multiple weeks. Aladdin's A Whole New World was #1 for 1 week in 1993, the only other Disney song to hit #1. If you're going into Kardashian withdrawal, don't worry. We have a date for when they'll be back on your TV screens. April 14th, the new show The Kardashians will make its Hulu debut with new episodes every Thursday. The family's signature show on the E! Network ended last June. And he literally made the soundtrack to our lives. Star Wars, Jaws, Harry Potter, the Olympics, and more. Composer John Williams is 90 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
5 till 5, now 33 degrees.
And ahead in our next hour, the newest version of Madden is predicting the winner of this year's Super Bowl. And here's a hint. It's going to be a close one.
Sure hope so, right? We want a great game.
Yeah, of course.
Because if the commercials stink, that's the best part of it, right?
They'll be good.
I hope so. Transguide right now, very light traffic out there. Stephen Cavazos just walked into the studio, and today we are going to lavish him with praise and love because it's his birthday.
Yay!
Be right back.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. Buckle up. It's Tuesday, February 8th.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Definitely cold this morning. Pile on those layers, 33 degrees. But again, the advice to dress in layers because we're going to see some sun.
That's a good thing. Yeah, definitely colder than yesterday morning. Mike says we might hit that magic mark before the sun comes up.
Yes, the magic mark, of course, being 32 degrees. A lot of folks have, and in your backyard, just because the airport still is slightly above freezing right now, doesn't mean it's not freezing in your backyard. 34, dew points at 27, and we do have a little bit of a breeze out there, so that's what keeps the atmosphere kind of stirred up. When the wind just settles down, that allows the heaviest, coldest air to settle down on the surface. That's when you get your coldest temperatures. But despite the fact that maybe the thermometer's not at 32 degrees, it sure does feel like it. We are going to just about double our current temperature, actually going for 32 when it's all said and done, so we will be more than doubling that. The aquifer dropped down 1/10 of a foot after going up so much from last week's rain, and mountain cedars on the moderate side. Mold is low. Wind chill temperatures, yep, there's just enough of a breeze out there in some spots. You can see not bad, 5-10 miles per hour. In most areas out in the hill country, there is no wind, and so that's why we've got those colder temperatures out there. But the wind chill here in town is 28, 25, Randolph, and still feels like 22 degrees right now in Hondo. Clear and cold this morning, and then sunny and fantastic later on today. Again, mid-60s, so coat this morning, and you won't need it by this afternoon. But again, it'll cool off kind of quickly once the sun starts to go down. Rest of the week, a gradual warming. Still going to be cool in the morning, still jacket weather in the morning, and then up to around 70 to finish off the week. Then the front comes through just in time for the weekend. Early Saturday morning, temperatures are going to be staying about 10 degrees cooler than for highs on Saturday. A couple of showers may get squeezed out. And yes, it will definitely be cooler. As a matter of fact, by Sunday morning, we're going to be down knocking on the door of 32 degrees once again around here. All the details for the rest of the week coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos, good morning, sir. Anything big going on out there?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, right now, where a lot of these TransGuide shots have been looking pretty quiet. US 90 in Nogalitos, again, a quiet commute for most commuters. But as we take a look here, 35 at Pine, we do have some issues that are definitely going to impact that drive time, especially here off 37 at I-10 for a lot of drivers that are going to be traveling through these routes. However, most spots look okay, but we do want to bring your attention right to those areas. We're going to start there at 35 at Pine. Flashing lights, not looking good out there right now. A crash detected there in those southbound lanes, again, right at Pine Street of 35. So make sure you watch out for that. And we're bringing you down over here to I-37 southbound at I-10. TxDOT has a rollover listed in that area. Right now, not causing any big issues because it is still very early on. So we don't see a lot of people out there this early, but that could change as if it's still going to be out there as the morning does go on. But right now, off to a quiet start for this Tuesday morning. No big issues, again, that would cause delays for your early morning commute. And if your travels are taking you through San Antonio, well, we have your inbound times for you this morning. I-10 eastbound Bernie to downtown, 24 minutes at this hour. 26 coming in from 281 southbound in Bulverde, and 35 southbound coming in from New Braunfels. So not looking bad there, but we're definitely going to keep our eyes on these crashes here at 35 at Pine. We'll see how that impacts that early morning drive. Mark, Stephanie.
Okay, we want to get to late breaking news. An early morning meal turned into a melee, a disturbance inside an IHOP, then a shooting outside happened on the northwest side near I-10 and Vance Jackson.
Katrina Weber is live at the scene. And Katrina, we understand there was one person hit by gunfire.
That's right. San Antonio police tell me a 16-year-old boy was shot in the backside, shot twice. Happened right here outside this IHOP. You can still see police here. They actually have someone here collecting evidence at the scene. And they also have been talking to people who were inside this restaurant at the time when this happened. It was right around 4 o'clock. The police tell us that the 16-year-old boy got into some sort of a disturbance with people at another table. That disturbance then spilled outside into the parking lot. Witnesses say that they heard that teenager telling the group to get away from him, but at some point someone in that group shot him twice, wounding him. That boy taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The shooter took off in a car. Police told me that they did have a car that they found abandoned not far from here, and they are investigating to see whether that in fact is the car that was involved in the situation here this morning. But they do have this parking lot roped off in the in the meantime as they conduct their investigation both inside and outside this restaurant. Reporting live on the northwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Katrina. New details in a disturbing story we have been following. A 12-year-old boy hurt so badly he died. The boy's father and the father's girlfriend in custody on child abuse charges. San Antonio police were called to 32-year-old Derek Cole's and 27-year-old Capri Cheatham's apartment Sunday night after Cole's son, Danilo, stopped breathing. He was taken to the hospital and was found to be brain dead a short time later. Hospital staff reported suspicious injuries on his body. Coles and Cheatham later admitted to disciplining the young boy in multiple ways because he was being, quote, disrespectful. The couple now faces injury to a child charges, which could be upgraded.
A 22-year-old man is facing charges for 16 counts of human smuggling. Authorities got a tip that a driver identified as Misael Santiago Hernandez was driving with multiple people riding in the bed of his truck on I-10 outside of Kerrville. Upon inspection, law enforcement found a dozen adults and 4 children that had crossed the border with the intent of being smuggled deeper into the U.S. They have been released to the U.S. Border Patrol. Hernandez was booked into the Kerr County Jail, and additional charges may be added.
Now to your morning consumer news. And 2 years into this pandemic, we're still talking chip and supply chain shortages when it comes to vehicles.
So if you need to buy a new car, there are 2 things to keep in mind: price and patience. Patty Santos explains what you can expect if you head to the dealership.
Pre-pandemic, I was probably more of a type of person that would just pop up at a dealership and test drive a vehicle that I might be interested in or something like that.
Not anymore. Now Aaron Martin and his family first search for vehicles online. But Aaron says nothing beats an old-fashioned test drive.
Sometimes I just need to be able to reach out and touch something or to look at something that I've seen online, because pictures don't always do it justice.
There are pros and cons to shopping online. Buyers can put together their dream vehicle, but the chip and supply chain shortages make for long wait times.
People are forced to wait 3, 4, 5 months for a vehicle to come in that they want.
On the flip side, the dealers. April and Sarah, chairman of the San Antonio Auto Dealers Association, says they're seeing more profits. Buyers aren't negotiating as much. Aaron says it's less stressful.
You have some folks that are loving the process and some folks who miss the good old days where they can just go to the car lot and find what they need.
If you need something quick, you have another option. But like everything else, it comes at a cost.
People are now having to defer to used cars in order to get something pretty fast. So the problem that makes is now the used cars are a bit more expensive.
And Sarah estimates it could be up to 18 months till there are more cars on lots to choose from, but doubts the car buying experience will go back to how it was pre-pandemic. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
An expert we talked to recently said put off a vehicle purchase for as long as possible right now. Hey, speaking of right now, on KSAT.com, San Antonio, one of the top 10 migration destinations of 2021, and the out-of-town buyers helped drive home prices up. It's according to a real estate company, Redfin. Alamo City ranked number 10 on the list that combined Redfin home search data with U.S. Census Bureau data. You can read more about this story on our website.
And time now, 5:07 and about 33 degrees out there.
Still to come, the IRS stopping its use of facial recognition to verify taxpayers online. Details in your morning tech bites.
Plus a job fair for a very specific group of people. After the break, who's getting the new jobs?
And outside with live cam. Yeah, 33 degrees out at the airport, and you're looking out near that area right now. Very cold, and then nice later on. It's going to be a pretty good day for Stephen Cavazos' birthday. We'll be right back. 511, welcome back. This is interesting. The employment manager of a major San Antonio hotel says it kicked off its hiring season by going to an untapped labor pool, Afghan refugees.
The response, we're told, almost overwhelming. About 200 applicants crowded into the Sanctuary of Resurgent Church on Fredericksburg Road yesterday. Recruiters with the JW Marriott Hotel say they were expecting to interview maybe 30 or 40 people for about 60 or 70 positions. But by mid-afternoon, the hotel reported it had already hired half that number.
Even though some of them come with a wealth of experience, they're just here for a job, for a new start.
It shows that we're here to help our fellow brothers and sisters that came from overseas due to the circumstances.
The Marriott worked with the Center for Refugee Services, to arrange the day-long job fair. Hotel's employment manager says for those who couldn't make it, they can apply on the JW Marriott website for a variety of positions at their property.
And time now is 5:12 and about 33 degrees out there.
Looking to buy flowers for that special someone? Get ready for a big hit to your wallet. Just ahead, what you can expect ahead of Valentine's Day this year.
Hi, I'm Sharon, and I'm a welder by trade. But in my mind, I'm a professional ballerina. That's why I only train with Beachbody super trainer Elise Joan. Doing her bar blend workouts on Beachbody, you always feel like you're a real dancer preparing for opening night.
Let's lift it, shape it, and elevate it. Squeeze that booty, lift it up.
Oh yeah, and the booty firming? This booty's hotter than my welding torch.
Try Bar Blend by Beachbody free for 14 days.
Aleve X. It's fast, powerful, long-lasting relief with a revolutionary rollerball design. Because with the right pain reliever, life opens up. Aleve it and see what's possible.
Truth is, I've never really known how to care for my hardwood floors. Then I found Swiffer Wedget Wood. These soft microfiber leg pads absorb dirt and grime deep inside. And it prevents streaks and haze better than my old mop. Wedget Wood. Also, try Sweeper wood cloths.
In today's Tech Bites, no more facial recognition for the IRS. The agency is dropping the technology as an account verification method amid privacy concerns. A third-party company would have had access to the data. Privacy advocates and lawmakers raised worries about cyber theft. Samsung rolling out new health and fitness features for its Galaxy 4 smartwatches. Software updates launching tomorrow include body composition analysis and sleep coaching. That entails assigning you a sleep animal to match your sleep pattern, anything from an unconcerned lion to a nervous penguin. Finally, the annual Madden NFL Super Bowl prediction is in. It says the Bengals will beat the Rams on Sunday 24-21. The prediction has been correct 11 times in the last 18 years. By the way, that would be the first win ever for the Bengals. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It might play out. We'll see.
Valentine's Day almost here, day after Super Bowl. And if you're planning to show your affection with a big bouquet of red roses, expect to pay essentially a car payment.
Just a little bit more. 12 on your sides. Marilyn Moore says the pandemic is behind flower inflation, too.
Business is blooming at neighborhood flower shops. But with Cupid's big day looming, a word to all you Romeos with your heart set on romantic red roses.
There are going to be plenty of flowers available. There is a shortage of roses.
Florist Jack Cross says there are roses available, just fewer than years past. It's a global shortage rooted in the pandemic, untended crops, labor shortages, and transportation delays. And now that demand is high, so are prices.
We're seeing a much larger increase on the wholesale cost that we have to pay for roses than I have ever seen in the 35 years I've been doing this.
He'll absorb most of the increase, but says customers can expect to pay $10 to $15 more than last year. There's another shortage that's a thorn in the side of florists: glass. It's making it tricky to find the glass vases for the arrangements.
Hard goods, I would say that was what we were more short on because you're having to pay so much in shipping too.
Florist Gina Clark says their vase costs have doubled when they could get them. They too will absorb most of the increases. Valentine's Day, a big deal for florists, is a challenge this year, so it couldn't hurt to show them some love too.
I say what helps florists is people ordering in advance.
And being open-minded to something different, because pink is pretty romantic too. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Good idea to be more open about it, but yeah, $10 to $15 more a year this year, not surprised at all.
Yeah, hopefully everybody put their money aside getting ready for the holiday.
Hopefully. Well, let's check in with the birthday boy, Steven Cavazos. Happy birthday, Steven.
Thank you, guys. Birthday. Yeah, good to be back here. And shout out to Justin Horn, and also shout out to my dear friend Stefania Jimenez. It's her birthday as well, yes. So happy birthday to her. But right now, if you have to head out the door, there are a few things you got to be on the lookout for. 35 at Pine is a problem spot right now, and also 37 at I-10. Now, rollover actually came out there a little bit after 11 overnight. So we've been seeing some police presence there, or first responder presence, I should say, for quite a while. But overall, overall, the look at the other roads just shows a pretty quiet commute. Let's take you to the map and show you where these issues are happening. I-37 southbound at I-10 is where you saw that TransGuide camera. There was a few flashing lights still out there. Taking you further up, I-35 southbound at Pine Street, still a problem spot. So not looking good there. Of course, we're going to continue to watch these crashes and let's see how that impacts the drive time. Something that we're going to continue to also watch up here is I-10 because there is going to be some utility work that you may encounter a little bit later this morning that will lead to some slight congestion possibly off of, it started yesterday, but we'll be wrapping up on February 18th. That's going to be from 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. Keep in mind, it's a single right lane closure on the eastbound frontage road near UTSA Boulevard. But overall, morning right now shows a pretty quiet start. We still have those issues that we're going to continue to watch throughout the morning. But right now, I think most of San Antonio is in pretty good shape, guys.
Stephen, do you have any fun plans for your birthday today?
Sleeping. I'm looking forward to my nap today. I ran out of coffee. So
that is a treat, really.
This is a no caffeinated Stephen today.
You could get a little cot and put it right back underneath there.
We could do that. We can make
and then just work. Pop up for your head and then
take it easy today.
Just a thought. So you said Stephania
Jimenez.
Her birthday today too?
Yeah,
birthday twins.
Aww.
Oh.
I don't know if management would approve of the cot, but your morning family does.
Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
we
Love
approve.
that.
And then what you do is you hide it behind all of this because there's a lot of room behind this thing. So it's like that closet.
You've really thought this through all of a sudden, Mike.
Mike coming in with the
just
tips.
looking out for you.
I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Mike may bring in his own.
Did you know, with two people, the same birthday, said he and Stephanie, that if you have a group of 30 people, the odds are in your favor or in favor that two of them will have the same birthday.
No kidding.
I also share a birthday with somebody works at the station as well. So interesting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Don, our
Yeah,
director.
that's right.
So anyway, but yeah, the odds are two people have the same birthday out of 30.
That's funny.
I don't know how the math works out, but it does. Anyway, beautiful picture there. Sunset in Conroe. Oh my goodness, that was just huge glowing ball out there. Great shot. And we've got a lot of clear skies. It's going to be a good looking sunrise this morning. And temperatures, boy, it's chilly out there and we got a little bit of a breeze in places. 25 is what it feels like at Randolph. 25 also in Kerrville. That's just the actual air temperature. There's not much wind out in the hill country, and that's what's allowing the colder, heavier air to settle down the surface. That's why the actual air temperatures are that much cooler. Yesterday, we did make it up to 64 degrees, warmed up quite nicely, kept in the 50s in parts of the hill country. And today, we're going to be right up there again and add a couple of degrees to that, up in the mid 60s, even a few upper 60s, especially down there along the Rio Grande Valley. And as far as the humidity, we've got really dry air down here at the surface and then also upstairs, and that's why we're going to have some beautiful blue skies. And the humidity stays very low throughout the rest of today. The wind is going to start to want to shift around out of the southeast, but that's not going to pull in, somewhat more in the way of some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, but not a whole heck of a lot. It will hold low temperatures up a few more degrees each and every day the rest of the week, but nothing too extreme. As far as extreme temperatures, this is going to be the most extreme throughout the rest of the week. We will make it up into the a couple of degrees above normal by the end of the week, up to 70, normal being in the mid 60s, but that's pretty much about it. As far as anything going on this week, as you can see, computer models had nothing. Then on Saturday, late Friday night, early Saturday morning, a front's going to move through here. That's going to bring a few clouds, maybe a couple of showers. I mean, that's a very small little spot with the rain chances around here. Keep some clouds around on Saturday, then back to the sunshine on Sunday. Yeah, that's the one. At least we got some great rain last week because the forecast throughout the rest of the week and going into next week is pretty darn dry. 58 degrees, but beautiful. If you can't have rain, might as well have gorgeous weather. And that's what we have in store. So cool mornings and then nice afternoons. 66 for a high temperature later on today. And then tomorrow we will be, again, jacket weather. Same thing the rest of the week. Then up to 70 to finish up the work week and school week. And then that front comes through here and knocks temperatures down just a little bit by the weekend with a shower or two on Saturday.
Thank you for the reminder. On Monday, the graphic. Very nice.
And you think you should get flowers like what? You started backing up the days now, all starting Friday?
Well, yeah, you have options, to celebrate.
Does he know he has to start getting?
I kid. I don't expect that.
Remind me to send a note to Luis later. Make sure he knows he's not in trouble in advance. 524, about 33 degrees.
And just ahead, Bruce Willis dominates the Razzie nominations. That's next in your Morning Spotlight News.
We don't talk about Lin-Manuel Miranda's Encanto hit We Don't Talk About Bruno is the first song from a Disney animated musical ever to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for a second straight week.
I think the fun of it is that's a very universal experience of in every family, there's the things you can talk about at dinner and the things you talk about when this person's not around. And so the notion of this thing we don't talk about, but we're obsessed with talking about it because we're not allowed to talk about it.
Encanto is out now on 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and DVD.
Don't move! On your knees. Now!
Another Bruno, Bruce Willis, was in 8 movies last year, all low-budget action flicks with titles like Out of Death and American Siege. So the Razzie Awards, honoring the best of the worst in movies, created a special category, Worst Performance by Bruce Willis in a 2021 movie. The dubious honor of most Razzie nominations this year goes to Netflix's Diana the Musical with 9, including Worst Picture, Worst Director, and nods in every acting category. The winners will be announced March 26th, the day before the Oscars. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Time right now, 5:28, 33 degrees.
And ahead in our next half hour, you face at Our Lady of the Lake University, why the new president is already making waves in a big way.
Bullets fly in the middle of breakfast at this IHOP restaurant. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you more about it coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we are starting at a cold 33 degrees. But again, our advice is to dress in layers because we will see that sun later on today.
Well, makes sense though. Layers later. When we can
layer, yeah.
Start taking layers off.
Maybe that's where my brain was headed.
I understand. Tuesday, February 8th. Good morning to you from us.
Yeah, good morning. Well, at least it feels like February. Sometimes we complain because it doesn't feel like January or, the winter months, and now it actually does.
Feels legit out there, Mike.
Yes, indeed. We're going to have cool mornings and beautiful afternoons. And speaking of good-looking mornings, a lot of clear skies out there right now. And there you can see the planet Venus. Brightest object in the sky, in the night sky next to the moon, and absolutely gorgeous out there. And like I said, that's going to be followed by fantastic sunrise and nothing but wall-to-wall sunshine all day long. 34 degrees officially out at the airport. 27 is the dew point, which means we've got some fairly dry air. We could, in theory, drop all the way down there. We're not going to. May drop a couple of more notches, but the wind is keeping the atmosphere. We've got dry air. We've got clear skies, but that little breeze just keeps the thermometers from really dropping down to like the 20s that it is in parts of the hill country right now. Not much of a breeze, but enough to put that wind chill down into the upper 20s. 25 is what it feels like Randolph, and again 22 in Hondo. So jacket and then up to 66 later on today. Huge warm up with this dry air. Nothing but sunshine, clear skies, and that's the way it's going to stay throughout the rest of the week. Add a few degrees, the low temperatures and the high temperatures this week. Yeah, just spectacular. Then another front for the weekend. Details on what that's going to bring in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos. Any birthday presents for you out there?
Well, so far the commute. The weather sounds like it's a great treat today, Mike. Right now the commute's looking pretty average, but we do have some problems right now. 1604 Wiseman, let's start there. As we take a look around town, we're seeing just a few folks out there this morning. Not usually expecting a whole lot of traffic, but 1604 Culebra, pretty quiet spot there. 410 at McCullough, but the problems are out there. As we mentioned a little bit earlier in the newscast, if you're just waking up, the problem right here off of 37 southbound at I-10. Now this is a rollover that was listed overnight. I was just checking the TransGuide cameras. It does look like this could be on the grassy median, so we're not seeing so much of an impact on the actual roadways, but definitely something to be on the lookout for. Some good news to actually talk about because we did have this crash there off 35 southbound at Pine Street. Been there for about a little over half an hour. Thankfully, first responders had cleared that out, but as we push out of the map, well, it looks like we are still in good shape. Lots of green on the screen, and it's pretty tranquil, but of course, you're going to want to make sure you're driving carefully this morning. Let's take a look at those inbound times because if your travels are taking you through San Antonio, you are in luck. Seguin, I-10, right now in those westbound lanes, 29 minutes at this hour. 22 if you're coming in from Livonia downtown on those northbound lanes on 87. And right now, Floresville to downtown San Antonio, 29 minutes. So nothing too bad that's going to cause any delays for that early morning drive. But be on the lookout for those situations. We're going to continue to watch the roads closely, and we'll give you those updates as the morning does go on. Mark, Stephanie?
Right now, we want to get a late-breaking news. Disagreement inside a Northwest Side restaurant has led to a shooting outside. San Antonio police say the victim in this case is a 16-year-old boy.
Katrina Weber is live where it happened near Interstate 10 and Vance Jackson. Katrina, is there any update on the teen?
Well, the last we heard from police is that he suffered non-life-threatening injuries, shot twice in his backside. It happened out right here outside this IHOP restaurant right around 4 o'clock this morning. Police say that the 16-year-old was inside the restaurant, got into some sort of a disagreement with people at another table. Now, that disagreement then spilled outside into the parking lot. Witnesses say that they heard that 16-year-old telling the group to get away from him. And then at some point after that, he was shot twice in his backside, taken to a hospital for treatment. The suspects took off. Police told me that they did find a car not far from here. It was abandoned, and it matched the description of one that was involved in the shooting. And so they were going through that car trying to determine if that car is the one that took off from this restaurant with the shooter inside. They have not caught anyone connected to the shooting, though. No arrests so far. But again, police have been here ever since, processing the scene, collecting evidence, and also talking to people who were inside the restaurant at that time. Reporting live on the Northwest Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Katrina. A body found behind a hotel in Castroville leads to a homicide investigation. The Texas Rangers are leading that investigation, and information is limited right now, but we do know the victim was 25-year-old Elijah Chandler from here in San Antonio. That's according to the Castroville Police Department. We did try reaching out to the Texas Rangers, but have not heard back from them.
Topping your morning headlines, back away from Ukraine, and don't even think about invading a NATO ally. That's what NATO leaders are telling Russia.
As CNN's Amy Kiley reports, members of the alliance are uniting to send that message.
NATO is using talk and actions. It's warning Russia of consequences if it further invades Ukraine. That's the message out of the White House, where President Joe Biden hosted the German chancellor Monday.
If Russia makes a choice to further invade Ukraine, we are jointly ready, and all of NATO is ready.
We are acting together. We are absolutely united, and we will not taking different steps.
The meeting comes as Germany's dependence on Russia's natural gas has some questioning how tough it will get with that country. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron tried diplomacy with Russian President Vladimir Putin Monday. But along the Ukrainian border, Putin's actions speak louder than words.
He has added forces in just over the course of the weekend. In the last 48 hours, he continues to. And we think there are more battalion tactical groups on their way.
The U.S., France, Spain, and other countries have troops bolstering NATO allies in the region. Britain is also sending more troops. After all,
NATO is a defensive alliance, and we're doing what we believe we need to do to help assure our allies about how seriously we take our commitments to that alliance.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
National Archives says they obtained 15 boxes of records from Mar-a-Lago Resort that former President Donald Trump took with him after he left the White House. This comes to light after the former president sued to keep hundreds of records secret from the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. According to former White House officials, he would frequently tear up documents, making it hard for officials to preserve the paperwork. The Presidential Records Act requires all documents be transferred into the archives from the White House at the end of each administration.
Back here at home, it's a first ever at Our Lady of the Lake University. The recently announced President-elect Abel Antonio Chavez is the first Latino to hold his position in the university's history.
Our Alicia Beretta spoke to Dr. Chavez about what it means for him to hold this title and how he will use it to his advantage.
Dr. Abel Antonio Chavez will take the reins of Our Lady of the Lake University in July of this year as the first Latino male to serve as president.
A big sense of obligation and responsibility came upon me.
He's a Colorado native with ties to the Texas-Mexico border.
Mom and dad are from Juarez, Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua, Mexico. As a kid, we were raised in Denver, and we would travel to El Paso to Juarez a few times a year.
He lived and witnessed firsthand the complexities first-generation students face.
From housing to economic development to energy development to food, to water, to transportation. The list goes on.
It's a perspective he's eager to bring to Our Lady of the Lake University, where 66% of all students are Hispanic and 40% identify as first generation, just like him.
There's no denying Dr. Chavez's heritage will make an impact throughout the student body, the institution as a whole. But Dr. Chavez says he's also focused on las familias, the families.
And first on the list, helping families navigate admission and federal financial aid applications.
Where I will make a case for continuing to identify and to surgically remove some of these barriers of access, affordability, and completion that our students continue to struggle with.
Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
540, 33 degrees.
And still to come, a look at some of the stories trending right now on KSAT.com.
And after the break, new details about the city's Ready to Work program.
And this morning, we are continuing the trend of cold mornings and nice afternoons. Enjoy that. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's 5:42. The city of San Antonio getting ready to kick off a new voter-approved workforce training program.
City officials and members of the business community gathered yesterday at City Hall for the start of a $200 million SA Ready to Work program. During the November 2020 election, voters approved funding the program with sales tax dollars. Participants will be able to get tuition or certification for college degree programs in high-demand fields. City says that employers' participation in the program will lead to its success.
That gives me the confidence that we're going to have the alignment necessary with what their jobs are so we can build the program so that when people finish, we haven't built the bridge to nowhere. We've built them a bridge to a good paying, high quality job.
So far, more than 70 employers have signed a pledge supporting the program.
Right now, 543, still 33 degrees.
And we're about to head inside the courtroom after the break, what one judge is doing to get some cases to begin as hybrid trials.
546, there's a massive backlog of criminal cases on hold right now here in Bexar County, in large part thanks to COVID.
One judge is hoping a new change by the Texas Supreme Court will help some cases move to a hybrid model.
Erica Hernandez explains what a hybrid trial would look like.
The hallways are quiet at the courthouse as all hearings are mostly on Zoom and in-person trials are on hold.
Every time that we open and shut down, the line just keeps getting bigger for in-person jury trials.
All right. That is why 226 Criminal District Court Judge Velia Mesa is hoping for some cases to begin as hybrid trials.
What I envision doing is selecting the jury on Zoom, and then the jury that is selected will appear in person.
Since the beginning of the COVID pandemic, the Texas Supreme Court had allowed only civil trials to take place virtually, but recently gave the go-ahead for criminal trials as well, but under some conditions. Prosecutors and defense attorneys would have to both agree to virtual or hybrid trials, and local authorities would have to allow it during a time of high rates of COVID infections. Not all cases would qualify for a hybrid trial. You wouldn't see a murder case, but you could see one involving lower felonies like drug cases.
I'm providing an avenue whereby we can still keep going, and we can use it even when we reopen.
Judge Mesa's primary opponent, Attorney Demetrio Duarte, says from a criminal defense lawyer's standpoint, this isn't an option he would recommend to any of his clients.
I want a full jury trial, face-to-face, where I can see that everybody is paying attention, that I get their body language, that I can hear what they're saying. And no, I'm not going to go and agree to a hybrid jury trial.
If Judge Mesa does get the clearance for a hybrid trial, they could begin in about 2 weeks. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
548.
Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos. I saw a few more vehicles on the roadways.
Yeah, we have a few more vehicles out there right now. I-10 at Hackberry. We're seeing traffic moving through a lot of these TransGuide cameras pretty smoothly at this hour. But as I mentioned, as you've been with us, there are problems that are out there right now. We talked about one off of 37. Was talking to our friends over at TransGuide. They did tell us that that ramp is closed off as they are working to clear up, as first responders, that is, are working to clear up the scene of a rollover. So you got to watch out for that because we are seeing somewhat of a slight buildup there in those southbound lanes of 37. I-37. Nothing too drastic just yet, but something, of course, we're going to continue to watch throughout the morning. We're also spotting some car trouble a little bit further up here off I-35 southbound at Cesar Chavez Boulevard. Of course, when you see those stalled vehicles, make sure you give them plenty of room to get their stuff situated. But overall, right now, we're still in decent shape as the morning has gone on. Inching closer to 6 a.m. No other big problems to talk about right now, except for that one off of 37. One last look at Transguide 410 at Starcrest. The morning is getting moving, but of course, we're going to continue to watch these roads closely and give you all the updates as the morning does go on, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Got some photo contributions from way over near Houston this morning.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of pictures were taken, rightly so, because it was absolutely gorgeous out there. The flag, the lake, clouds, the sun setting.
Lake Conroe.
Yep.
Pretty place.
Great picture to look at. Just kind of almost just veg out looking at that one. We're going to have a fantastic sunrise this morning and got a lot of clear skies, got some cold temperatures. It is 34 here in town. Those Port SA, 31, 32. And perfect example where, right here, one thermometer is still above freezing, but you can go right down the road and drop down below freezing, as is the case, with some of those numbers right below freezing. Then 27 at Helotes and mid-20s out in portions of the hill country. And there is a slight breeze. So we've got 28 is what it feels like here in town, and mid-20s both Port SA and Randolph. Yeah, it's cold out there, but then it warms up very quickly, and we're going to have nothing but blazing sunshine when you've got all of this dry air upstairs in the atmosphere, this dark shade, and then also kind of that brownish shade on the water vapor imagery indicates some really dry air upstairs. Now, as far as around the country, there's nothing, 12, 16, International Falls, Minneapolis, respectively. Those are cold temperatures, but not like what it was last week when it was 30, close to 40 below zero up there. So things have modified somewhat. And as far as the next couple of days, we have nothing going on around here but sunshine, cool mornings, nice afternoons, warm up very quickly. We've got this good northwesterly flow aloft in the atmosphere, so that's going to keep some great weather around here. There is another front that's going to move on through. We will be up to about 70 tomorrow, Thursday, as well as Friday. And then this front comes through here, and that's going to be early on Saturday. It may squeeze out a couple of showers. The odds of rain are perhaps 20% at best, and that's about it. And it will give us a reinforcing shot of cool air. So, like I said, 70s the rest of the week, and then it's going to be back down to right around low 60s for Saturday as well as Sunday. And as far as that rain chance, that's pretty much the only thing in at least the next week. Going into Valentine's Day Monday looks pretty nice. There is another low that's going to try and work its way sort of in our direction by the middle part of next week, but that's still way, way off, and that thing can change a lot between now and then. 58 degrees today at noon. A spectacular day. Plenty of sunshine and a high temperature up to 66. That is the normal average high temperature this time of year. Tomorrow, yeah, another cool morning. Jackets in the morning all week long. Upper 30s, low to mid 40s, and then the front comes on through here, and that's going to be early Saturday. So we'll still have kind of a mild morning, but only 60 for a high temperature in the afternoon. 1 or 2 showers. Wouldn't really get too excited about those rain chances on Saturday, and then 62 for a high on Sunday. Another really cold morning on Sunday.
But not too bad overall.
And then, of course, Monday, gentlemen.
Valentine's Day.
Nice reminder.
Don't get in trouble day.
No.
Thank you, Mike. I-52 about 33 degrees.
And gas prices are hitting new highs this morning. Still to come, the new threat from President Biden.
Let's take a look at your lottery numbers, and Powerball's coming up at the end. Pick 3 numbers, 807, Fireball 3. Daily 4 numbers, 8117, Fireball 0.
Cash 5, 4, 7, 12, 29, 30. And your Texas 2-step 1, 17, 23, 29, bonus ball 32. And your Powerball numbers, 5, 15, 38, 47, 65, Powerball 10, Power Play 3. Good luck.
Coming up, the big shift on school mask mandates. Several states are announcing they'll be dropping them as COVID cases drop as well. The reaction to that big decision this morning, and so much more right here on GMA.
An area called Honey Creek Spring Ranch in Comal County now under protection from future development. Texas Parks and Wildlife making the announcement yesterday that more than 600 acres have been owned and operated by a local family for more than 150 years. Officials say it's regarded as an area of ecological importance due to endangered species that live there, but now be taken care of by the Nature Conservancy. Much more ahead in our next hour, GMSA. A lot of new deals hitting stores in the month of February. We'll tell you where you can get the best deals. Plus, the IRS getting rid of a feature due to privacy concerns. We'll explain how it could impact you. And the latest on an East Side shooting involving a man and a teenager. Details just ahead. Right now, let's take a look at TransGuide. Flashing lights right there at 37 at I-10. That's just one incident showing up right now on our TransGuide cameras this morning. But we have much more to come right here on GMSA as the morning commute gets going here in South Texas. You are watching Good Morning San Antonio.
A man and teenager caught in gunfire on the east side. The suspect still on the run. We're going to tell you everything we know so far.
I'm ABC's M. Wynn in Washington. As COVID-19 cases drop nationwide, some states are starting to pull back mask mandates, but some health officials say it's too early. The latest coming up.
And I know it's only Tuesday, but are you ready for the big game? We've got a preview of some of this year's Super Bowl commercials.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we're starting cold. We're starting at 33 degrees, but again, we are looking forward to some sunshine.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. It's Tuesday, February 8th.
Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. Starting cold again, but I kind of like the trend of cold mornings and nice afternoons.
That's been the trend. Definitely colder this morning than yesterday. So plan ahead as you head out the door this morning for work or school. Mike Ostrage, good morning.
Good morning. Then we're just about going to double the current temperature and got some really cold numbers out in portions of the hill country as of right now. And we don't see any glow of the sunrise yet, but it's going to be a pretty one. And then nothing but sunshine really throughout the rest of the day as well as the rest of the week. 26 is the wind chill here in town, 22 now at Randolph and 24 in Kerrville. So enough of a breeze to really add a good bite to some of these temperatures. And throughout the rest of the morning, I think we drop down another degree or two in the next couple of hours. And then, like I said, once the sun comes up, gets a little higher in the sky, temperatures, you can probably watch the thermometer go up throughout the rest of the morning. We're going to make it up into the upper 50s today at noon and then top off with a high up to 66. Yeah, just fantastic. And that's going to be the case the rest of the week. Actually, add a couple of numbers to the lows as well as the highs. Jacket weather in the morning, not in the afternoon. Front coming through in time for the weekend. What will that do, and will it bring any rain? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos. Anything big out there, sir?
Well, I wouldn't say it's not necessarily a big morning where we're seeing a lot of problems, but it's not picture perfect. 37 at I-10. This is the big one that we're talking about this morning. 37 at I-10, where we see a rollover that was actually listed on the TxDOT website a little bit after 11 overnight. Obviously, still seeing a pretty heavy first responder presence out there. Some flashing lights with some few vehicles. It's very dark. I'm not able to tell exactly what's going on out there, but we'll take you right to the map, find out how that's impacting the commute, because we see it's in the southbound lanes of 37 at I-10, but it's finding a slight buildup in those northbound lanes. Nothing too drastic there, but keep in mind, this is a rollover crash that has been reported for several hours now, so we'll have to watch that closely and see how that's going to change as the morning does go on. Let's go ahead and take a jump up over here because stalls seem to be the trending problem right now. I-35 southbound at Cesar Chavez, a stall picked up right there, but not causing any issues. However, we still see that trend continue right up here off of I-10 westbound at Hebner Road. Again, make sure when you see those stall vehicles move over or slow down, especially when first responders are out there working to help them out. Pushing out of the map as we take a look, still in really good shape at 6:03 this morning. No delays if you are traveling anywhere right now, no congestion, so lots of green roads. And if you're traveling through San Antonio, well, we have those inbound times for you right now. Pleasant drive from Pleasanton on 37 northbound with 28 minutes at this hour, 19 minutes on Highway 90 if you're traveling eastbound from Castroville, and little time from Lytle on 35 northbound with just 16 minutes. So no problems there. Again, a majority of the morning and these shots of TransGuide show that this commute is still smooth. However, this is going to be the problem. We'll watch that and see how it does impact that morning drive. Mark, Stephanie.
Well, we begin with some breaking news from the north side of San Antonio, where there are reports of a deadly house fire.
This is unfolding on McCarty Road near Loop 410 and Blanco Road. Katrina Weber is there on the scene now with the latest. And Katrina, what do we know so far?
Well, good morning. We do know that there was a couple inside this home. According to what fire battalion chiefs tell me, it's a 97-year-old woman who died as a result of this fire. They all are checking out another person for possible smoke inhalation. A fire happening right here at this home behind me. Now, this broke out after 5:30 this morning. Firefighters got here. They managed to put out the fire, and again, they did find the two people inside. That woman, 97 years old, according to the fire department, has died as a result of the fire. They do have arson investigators on the way to the scene to try to figure out what happened, how this fire started. All those questions still need to be answered. But right now you can see firefighters standing around discussing what happened, what they found. Also, always very hard for them to take whenever there is a life lost. And that is the situation here. They standing by after knocking down the fire, but also waiting for investigators to come and try to figure out exactly what went wrong. This house is at the corner of McCarty and Miter. It's technically on Miter Street, and this is where everything is happening right now. Reporting live on the north side of town, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Katrina. Now to the latest on the shooting investigation on the east side of town. San Antonio police say a man and a teenage boy were caught in the gunfire. It happened last night around 9 at an apartment complex in the 1300 block of Rigsby Avenue near I-10. Investigators tell us it started with a fight. Then the driver of a blue sedan pulled up to the scene. We're told a man in that car started shooting, then took off, possibly with another person in the vehicle. You're asked to call police if you have any information.
New details on a disturbing story we've been following. A 12-year-old boy hurt so badly he died. The boy's father and the father's girlfriend are in custody on child abuse charges. San Antonio police called to 32-year-old Derek Cole and 27-year-old Capri Cheatham's apartment Sunday evening after Cole's son Danilo stopped breathing. He was taken to the hospital and was found to be brain dead a short time later. Hospital staff reported suspicious injuries on his body. Coles and Cheatham later admitted to disciplining the young boy in multiple ways because he was, quote, being disrespectful, end quote. The couple face injury to a child charges, which could be upgraded.
New COVID-19 cases are declining or stable in all 50 states, prompting several Northeast states, some among the hardest hit, to announce plans to lift mask mandates in schools.
But many are still divided on that issue as the Omicron surge continues to take more than 2,400 lives a day. ABC's Em Nguyen is in Washington this morning with more.
Good morning. As COVID-19 cases drop and pandemic rules start to change, the CDC cautions that their recommendations still stand, that anyone 2 years and older should continue to wear masks in public. This morning, COVID-19 infections are falling across the nation. And now some states, once epicenters for the virus, are announcing masks will no longer be required in schools starting in about a month. New Jersey's governor says he's leaving restrictions up to the school districts.
We have to learn how to live with COVID as we move from a pandemic to the endemic phase of this virus.
Delaware, Connecticut, and Oregon also planning to end school mask mandates, with New York's governor signaling she may make an announcement on the issue tomorrow. California is ending its indoor mask mandate next week, but keeping the rules in place for school children, at least for now. This comes as hospitalizations are down nearly 50%, with new cases dropping 61% since mid-January. Nearly 632,000 kids tested positive last week. Some health professionals say it's too soon to end mask mandates because vaccination rates are not high enough yet among the school-age population.
Vaccination rates are the lowest in individuals under age 40. We're going to see school-based outbreaks at a time when we're trying to return to normal, but we're actively making decisions that go against that.
And the nation marking a grim milestone. The Washington National Cathedral tolling its bell 900 times to recognize 900,000 COVID-19 deaths. Health experts say many of these deaths could have been prevented as just 64% of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated, along with just 39% of eligible children. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Topping morning consumer news, no more facial recognition for the IRS. The agency dropping the technology as an account verification method amid privacy concerns. A third-party company would have had access to that data. Privacy advocates and some lawmakers raised worries about cyber theft.
And facing a labor crunch, Amazon offering raises for some tech and corporate jobs. USA Today says the company has boosted its maximum base pay cap for those positions from $160,000 to $350,000.
608, 33 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, your favorite team may not be in this year's Super Bowl. However, tons of people will tune in for the commercials alone. We're going to have a sneak peek of some of those commercials.
Just ahead, we'll tell you how the conflict in Eastern Europe is having an impact on how much you pay at the gas pump.
And taking a look outside with live cam, chilly out there. It's 33 degrees. You'll definitely need your jacket this morning. And sunshine later on today. We'll be right back. And we turn now to gas prices hitting new highs this morning. Some areas of the country seeing a 20-cent jump compared to last month.
One factor is the standoff with Russia over Ukraine. President Biden now making a new threat, hoping to persuade Vladimir Putin not to invade.
ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest.
This morning, tensions along the Ukraine-Russia border are now being felt at gas stations across the U.S. Prices now rising to the highest levels in nearly 8 years.
Well, the geopolitical tension is fueling some concerns that Russia could react to potential Western sanctions by withholding crude oil from the already tight marketplace. And that's causing crude oil prices to rise even more.
Average prices now hitting $3.44 per gallon nationwide, 8 cents more than last week, and nearly $1 more than last year at this time. These 7 states saw an increase of at least 10 cents in just the last week. Drivers in Michigan hit with a 15-cent increase in recent days.
The big question is how long will these higher pump prices stick around? Right now, we don't see much relief in the near future, and if crude oil prices continue to rise, then the pump prices will likely follow.
But the Ukraine-Russia tensions only seem to be escalating. Standing side by side with the Chancellor of Germany Monday, President Biden warned that if Russia invades, there would be major economic penalties. And Biden said the U.S. would halt a major pipeline set to bring natural gas from Russia into Germany.
There will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it. I promise you we'll be able to do it.
Shutting down the pipeline would be a massive blow to the Russian economy. But with Germany dependent on Russian gas, the German chancellor did not respond to Biden's threat. Still, this morning, there is a glimmer of hope from Moscow. French President Macron sat down with Russian President Putin for more than 5 hours Monday. And overnight, Macron's office says Putin has agreed to a new commitment not to take any new military initiatives around Ukraine. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Good morning. Time now is almost 6:15. Let's take a look at TransGuide, see how your morning commute is shaping up. 1604 at Hosman, US 90 at 36. Looks like it's getting pretty busy as San Antonio continues to wake up. There's 35 at Pine. Now, while we are seeing majority of shots look like they're pretty good, 37 at I-10 is a big one right now. This is the big problem spot that we've been talking about for a little while now. We can tell you that this is a crash that was detected off of I-37 southbound right at I-10. Spoke to our friends at TransGuide a little bit earlier, was hearing that the 37 southbound, the ramp to I-10 westbound is actually closed as first responders are working to clear this mess up. But keep in mind, that's been a crash that's been listed for several hours now. We're hoping to see some resolution soon. Also hoping these drivers can get some help. Stalls seem to be the problem right now. I-35 southbound at Cesar Chavez Boulevard, and we still see the same stall a little bit further up off of I-10 westbound at Huebner Road. So again, make sure you're checking those vehicles before you get out on the roadways and get your morning started. But also make sure you plan ahead because there will be some utility work happening later this morning on I-10. Starts from 9 a.m. and should be wrapping up around 4 in the afternoon. Keep in mind, this is going to be lasting till next Friday, and it's a single lane closure, single right lane closure, I should say, on the eastbound frontage road at UTSA Boulevard. Pushing you out of the map, we see that, again, 616, we're in good shape. We see a few minor issues out there on the roadway, but nothing big at this moment that's going to cause any delays. However, we're going to keep our eyes on that crash off of I-10 or 37 at I-10. Doesn't look like it's going to be resolving anytime soon.
And if you've just now turned us on, it's Stephen Cavazos' birthday today. Happy birthday, Stephen.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Also, shout out to my younger sister. Her birthday is tomorrow, and my older sister's birthday is on Thursday.
Wow.
8, 9, 10.
It's expensive week for your parents.
You know what? We'll do a nice lunch, and that'll do it for me.
Very nice.
But you just put it in the calendar. It's like birthday week for parents and get them all out of the way.
Exactly.
Well, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay. It's good, beautiful weather today. It's funny because even yesterday, just looking at all the accidents out there and incidents on the roads, there's nothing causing any of that stuff today. We are going to be dropping down maybe another couple of degrees here and there. Clear skies, beautiful sunrise is in store, and nothing but sunshine throughout the day. That nice vivid blue sky, 66 for a high later on, which is the normal high. And of course, my picture didn't show up there. Anyway, we've got clear skies right now. We're not seeing the glow of the sunrise, maybe a little bit there along the horizon. Am I seeing things? Or is that starting to glow a little bit right there?
I think so, Mike. Yeah.
I agree with you.
It's going to be spectacular. All right, the mountain cedar's on the moderate side and mold is low. And updated count, of course, is going to be coming out in about, say, half an hour, 45 minutes or so. 32 here in town. 30 at Randolph and 31 Port SA. It's got mid-20s in portions of the hill country, and then we've got wind chills on top of that. So it feels just about everybody is down into the 20s as far as wind chill is concerned as of right now. Nothing showing up on satellite picture. Nothing's going to be showing up today, tomorrow, next day. That's what's upstream for us. Just beautiful weather, cool mornings, nice afternoons. Unfortunately, there's no rain in store. Maybe the middle of a couple of showers Saturday, but I wouldn't really get too excited about that. And maybe next chance then would be about the middle of next week. All right, going into the future. As far as computer models, nothing around here. A couple of extra clouds perhaps by Friday. Saturday, here's the front that moves on through is coming in early on Saturday. It may squeeze out a couple of leftover showers here and there with some clouds, and that's going to be about it. A 20% chance for a shower at best on Saturday, and then we are going to be clearing back out. It will bring in some cooler temperatures, so we are going to go from having highs about 70 throughout the rest of the week, and then only 60 on Saturday, low 60s on Sunday, and a much colder morning on Sunday after things start to get a little bit milder there throughout the rest of the week. 58 degrees today at noon. Sunny skies. Gorgeous day. Can't beat it. 66 high temperature. Open up the windows kind of a day and then close them tonight because it'll get real chilly again. Jacket weather in the morning and beautiful sunshine. And look at that. We're seeing 30, 35 degree rise in temperatures pretty much across the board. And then that front moves on through here, and that's going to cool us down for the weekend. 1 or 2 showers are possible.
Around 2 or 3 yesterday afternoon, I opened the house up. It was really nice. Yeah. The sun starts to go down. It's like, oh, good Lord. Yes. It's cold.
It makes a difference.
It cools down quickly once that sun just gets a little lower in the sky.
Yes, it does. I decided that the foundation of my house is holding in the cold after, a pretty chilly week overall.
Those big masses of concrete hold in the heat, hold in the cold.
Indeed.
Our house holds the cold as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Just about 6:20, 33 degrees at last check.
And still ahead on GMSA, a sneak peek at some of those highly anticipated Super Bowl ads.
Why hide your skin if Dupixent has your moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis under control?
Hide our skin, not us.
Because Dupixent targets a root cause of eczema, it helps heal your skin from within, keeping you one step ahead of it. And for kids ages 6 and up, that means clearer skin and noticeably less itch.
Hide my skin, not me.
By helping to control eczema with Dupixent, you can change how their skin looks and feels. And that's the kind of change you notice.
Hide my skin, not me.
Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. When you help heal your skin from within, you can show more with less eczema. Talk to your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent, a breakthrough eczema treatment.
Welcome back. It's 6:23 in the countdown to the Super Bowl. There are some things we just can't wait for, and that includes those highly anticipated Super Bowl commercials. However, we are already getting plenty of sneak peeks, and here's ABC's Will Gams with more.
Remember when you bought your first house?
The price of a Super Bowl ad this year is scary high.
Companies paying up to $7 million for 30 seconds of airtime. A new peak for the big game. Paul Rudd and Seth Rogen teaming up for Lay's. Meanwhile, real-life couple Scarlett Johansson and Colin Jost bringing their work home with them in an ad for Amazon.
When you have to do those love scenes with hot guys, is that fun or is that like the worst?
It's the worst.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
And one other unlikely pairing, Anna Kendrick and...
Oh, just call me Barbie.
Rocket Mortgage releasing a teaser on Monday.
It's the 60th anniversary of the Dream House, Barbie Dream House. It's a Rocket Mortgage ad. I'm going to guess Anna Kendrick and Barbie are going to go chasing a dream house in that ad.
Lots of celebs getting into game day. Lindsay Lohan and William Shatner for Planet Fitness.
Hey, William.
Martha and Snoop for Bic.
Do I smell?
That's right. Fondue time.
And BMW dropping a teaser of their ad starring a bearded Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Zeus.
And Zeus.
What about some of our old favorites, like the Budweiser Clydesdales?
Budweiser's going to make a real splash, and Clydesdale has a near-death experience. So I'm not sure how well that one's going to go over.
You don't mess with those Clydesdales. That is a risk.
No, you don't.
We're also going to be seeing Zendaya in her first ever Super Bowl commercial, the Boston Dynamics robot busting a move, and Ted Lasso star Hannah Waddingham embracing her inner villain. Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
From Super Bowl to NBA, congratulations to Spurs star guard DeJounte Murray, named to the Western Conference All-Star squad as an injury replacement for Draymond Green. That's after Green had openly campaigned for Murray to replace him. Last week, when the All-Star reserves were announced, Murray's enjoying a career year where he scored his 10 of his career 14 triple-doubles this season, is now one away from a franchise record set by David Robinson. The NBA All-Star game is coming up Sunday, February 20th. Spurs back in action tomorrow night. They'll be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs are one of the better teams in the East. So it'll be a tall order for our Silver and Black as they begin their rodeo road trip. Tip-off is set for tomorrow night, 6 o'clock San Antonio time.
And congrats to DeJounte, and also go Spurs go. Time now 6:26 and 33 degrees for now. Still ahead in our next half hour, GMSA NATO issues a statement in response to the tension in Eastern Europe. We're going to have the latest.
Transguide right now, there was 37 at Hackberry, 1604 at Weissman. We'll check back in with the birthday boy, Stephen Cavazos, coming up. Outside with live cam, the sun is coming up. We're hovering right around freezing out at San Antonio International Airport. Morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 8th.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Looks beautiful outside.
It's gorgeous, but it is cold this morning.
But at least it'll warm up, so let's go ahead and check in with Mike. I guess the trend continues. That's a good thing.
Yep, cold mornings, warm afternoons, and yes, we have now touched freezing officially out there at the airport, and then double that reading later on this afternoon. Yeah, absolutely spectacular. It's a great way to start the day when you have a nice sunrise like that. Sun's going to be peeking over the horizon in about 50 minutes or so. So temperature is officially freezing at the airport. Dew points at 26. We still have a slight breeze out there. So where there is that breeze, and most areas, by the way, are at or below freezing right now. 28 Hondo, 25 really cold there in Bulverde. Same thing over in Bandera and Comfort. And with that slight breeze, that puts the wind chill down to 26 here in town. 22 is what it feels like at Randolph. Definitely bundle up. But then, yeah, it's heavy coat this morning, not by this afternoon. Mountain Cedars on the moderate side. Mold is low. Those updated counts are going to be coming out in about half hour, 45 minutes or so. So clear and cold this morning, and then sunny and fantastic later on today. The next few days, gradual warming. Still coats in the morning and don't need them in the afternoon, but we are going to be hovering right around 70 for high temperatures starting tomorrow through the end of the week. And then another front's going to move through here early Saturday. That'll knock temperatures back down about 10 degrees lower for highs by Saturday. Couple of showers going to be possible Not very likely, though. And then it'll be down close to freezing again once we get in towards Sunday morning. Details on the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos. A lot going on this morning.
It does seem that way, Mike. As we take a look right now, TransGuide 37 at Hackberry. The morning is getting moving for a lot of these folks. Taking a closer look at TransGuide, we can see that obviously some of these shots are pretty good, but we have spotted problems out there. There have been a few stalls, but the big thing right now is this crash off of I-37 at I-10. Bringing you right here to this to the map, I-37 southbound at I-10. I was talking to our friends over at TransGuide. They did tell us that the southbound ramp to I-10 west right now is closed as first responders remain on the scene working to clear this mess up. This has been listed on the TxDOT website since a little after 11 last night, so it has been a very long night for first responders out there. We're hoping that we can find some resolution out there pretty soon and that the drivers are okay, but we'll watch it closely. Also watching these stalls still out there off of I-35 southbound at Cesar Chavez Boulevard. Seeing another stall popping up right here off of I-35 northbound at George Beach Avenue. And we still have that other stall right over here off of I-10 westbound at Huebner Road. So I would say Tuesday morning is off to a pretty busy start. But as we take a wider look at the map, majority shows that we're still in luck. We're in green on the screen, so nothing too bad just yet. And the same goes for these inbound times. Just a slight slowdown on 87 coming in from Lavernia. So no delays if you're traveling into San Antonio at 6:32 this morning. But we're going to watch the roads closely and give you all those updates as the morning does go on. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Fire investigators will be taking a close look at a Northside home where a woman was found dead in a fire. This is happening not far from Loop 410 and Blanco Road on a street called Miter.
Katrina Weber is live at the scene with more. We understand you have some updated information on that victim, Katrina.
Well, that's right. Firefighters were updating some information they gave us earlier. Earlier, they told us the woman who was killed here was 97 years old. They made that correction and said she, in fact, was only 67. She was inside this home. Firefighters tell us that she was bedridden. Perhaps that's why she couldn't get out of the home on her own. Her husband was able to get out. They say either he or neighbors were the ones who called this in a little bit after 5:30 this morning. Firefighters got here. They did find heavy fire in a back bedroom and smoke throughout the house. They knocked down that fire. They were able to get to the woman, but it was too late. They tried to get to her prior to that, but the fire and smoke were too heavy. They could not get through it to get to her in that bedroom. But they did find that woman dead, 67-year-old woman. Her husband was evaluated here at the scene and then taken to a hospital as a precaution for possible smoke inhalation. And again, right now, they do have this house roped off. As you can see, fire investigators are going to go in and take a look around to see if they can figure out how this fire started. Reporting live on the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Katrina. And happening today, commissioners are calling for a quick release and transparency with body camera videos. It's an issue being voted on in a few hours.
Sarah Costa joins us here live in the studio with details on that. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Stephanie. A lot of eyes on this story. It's something we'll be following closely as there has been a lot of back and forth on this. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says he'll need more funding in order to make that happen on the 10-day deadline set by commissioners. That money would go to upgraded body cameras and improved editing software to redact faces or license plates from videos that are released. Bexar County Commissioner Tommy Calvert says the additional funding isn't necessary. At today's meeting, county commissioners will decide whether or not to grant the sheriff's request. That 10-day release after a critical incident has been a real sticking point. The sheriff says 30 days at this point is more feasible until they can work down to 10 days. Other surrounding departments follow a similar timeline. Austin Police Department releases video after 10 days. The Dallas Police Department releases video after 72 hours after a critical incident. So look for the latest on this story on our later newscast and, of course, on KSAT.com. Mark.
Thank you, Sarah. A federal judge has awarded over $200 million to 17 Sutherland Springs families, a result of a lawsuit those families filed against the federal government. The mass shooting in Sutherland Springs happened back in 2017 at the hands of Devin Kelly. Kelly had served in the U.S. Air Force. It was later discovered the Air Force did not submit his criminal history into a database. Doing so would have prevented him from buying guns. Last year, a judge ruled the federal government was 60% responsible for plaintiffs' injuries. So the victim's suit last year, judge ruled the federal government was at least partially responsible for the plaintiff's injuries because of that failure to report the information. Plaintiffs are all families of those killed or injured.
A 22-year-old man is facing charges for 16 counts of human smuggling. Authorities got a tip that a driver identified as Misael Santiago Hernandez was driving with multiple people riding in the bed of a truck on I-10 outside of Kerrville. Upon inspection, law enforcement found 12 adults and 4 children that had crossed the Mexico border with the intent of being smuggled deeper into the country. They have been released to the U.S. Border Patrol. Hernandez was booked into the Kerr County Jail and additional charges may be added.
Body found behind a hotel out in Castroville leads to a homicide investigation. The Texas Rangers are leading that investigation. Information limited right now, but we do know the victim was a 25-year-old named Elijah Chandler from here in San Antonio. That's according to Castroville Police Department. We did try reaching out to the Texas Rangers, but we have not yet heard back.
National Archives say they have obtained 15 boxes of records from Mar-a-Lago that former President Trump took with him after he left the White House. This coming to light after Trump sued to keep hundreds of records secret from the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection of the Capitol. According to former White House officials, Trump would frequently tear up documents, making it hard for officials to preserve the paperwork. The Presidential Records Act requires all documents being transferred to the archives from the White House at the end of each administration.
NATO leaders are warning Russia to back away from Ukraine.
As CNN's Amy Kiley reports, members of the alliance are uniting to send that message.
NATO is using talk and actions. It's warning Russia of consequences if it further invades Ukraine. That's the message out of the White House, where President Joe Biden hosted the German Chancellor Monday.
If Russia makes a choice to further invade Ukraine, we are jointly ready and all of NATO is ready.
We are acting together. We are absolutely united and we will not taking different steps.
The meeting comes as Germany's dependence on Russia's natural gas has some questioning how tough it will get with that country. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron tried diplomacy with Russian President Vladimir Putin Monday. But along the Ukrainian border, Putin's actions speak louder than words.
He has added forces in just over the course of the weekend. In the last 48 hours, he continues to. And we think there are more battalion tactical groups on their way.
The U.S., France, Spain, and other countries have troops bolstering NATO allies in the region. Britain is also sending more troops. After all,
NATO is a defensive alliance, and we're doing what we believe we need to do to help assure our allies about how seriously we take our commitments to that alliance.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
6:39, 33 degrees.
There are a lot of new deals hitting stores in the month of February. Ahead on GMSA, we're going to tell you where you can get the best discounts.
Welcome back. If you're just now joining us, good morning. City of San Antonio getting ready to kick off a new voter-approved workforce training program.
City officials and members of the business community gathered yesterday at City Hall for the start of a $200 million SA Ready to Work program. During the November 2020 election, voters approved funding the program with sales tax dollars, and participants will be able to get tuition for certification or college degree programs in high demand fields. The city says that employers' participation in the program will lead to success.
That gives me the confidence that we're going to have the alignment necessary for what their jobs are, so we can build the program so that when people finish, we haven't built the bridge to nowhere. We've built them a bridge to a good paying, high quality job.
So far, more than 70 employers have signed a pledge to support the program. Well, if you're in the market for new electronics or home goods, you are in luck.
A new month means new deals online and in stores. Sarah Costa breaks down what items have the best prices in the month of February.
February, it's a good month to get deals in stores and online. TVs, clothing, and mattresses are just a few of the things you'll likely find on sale. Deal News is out with a roundup of all the best bargains and deals for the month. It starts with TVs. Make sure to look for discounts starting early in the month ahead of the Super Bowl. Also, watch for a wide range of electronic sales tied to President's Day. Deal News says to expect savings of close to 70% on laptops and desktops from Dell Home, Lenovo, and HP. And retailers like Best Buy and eBay are expected to offer potentially even bigger discounts. President's Day also usually finds mattresses on sale. And watch for markdowns on winter clothing as retailers look to clear out space for spring apparel. Be on the lookout for jewelry deals leading up to Valentine's Day. Some retailers will offer big deals. And while gardening and grilling weather is still a ways off, you may start to see early sales for items in both categories this month. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
6:44. 6:45 exactly. Time to check in with the youngest guy in the studio.
Celebrating a birthday today.
Happy birthday again, Stephen.
Yeah, 33. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. But, drivers are going to want to be careful this morning. It's not necessarily been a great day out on the roadways. 37 at I-10. This has been the problem as we started talking of this earlier in the morning around 4:30 or so. But TxCOT, that is, had this crash listed a little bit after 11 overnight. So this has been a very long night into the early hours for first responders working to clear this crash scene up. You can see that it's still pretty active right now. Not sure exactly where the scene is, but we are seeing a lot of first responder presence out there. So make sure that you are driving carefully. As we take you to the map, we see that that is right there off of I-37 southbound at I-10. We know that this is in the southbound lanes on the ramp going into the westbound lanes of I-10. We're seeing that buildup already starting to happen. So again, keep in mind, this crash scene has been reported for several hours now. Still taking first responders plenty of time to get this cleared up. So we'll watch it closely. Again, same problems also still presenting themselves with these stalls. I-35 southbound at Cesar Chavez. We have this stall here off I-35 northbound at George Beach Avenue, and we have that same stall off of I-10 westbound at Huebner Road. So again, a lot of the same problems still presenting themselves, but overall look at the map for 646. Looks like we are getting pretty busy as now we're inching into that morning rush hour. But just watch out for this scene here as we continue to watch it there. 37 at I-10. We'll let you know how that impacts the drive time, but it has been a very long night for these first responders out there.
Yes, it has. Thank you, Stephen. Mike, growing up, I'm surprised your nickname isn't NASA. You love space travel so much.
Do.
I mean, when I was little, all the Apollo missions and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking at
it's right up your alley, isn't it?
Yeah, these pictures of the moon, and I don't know what kind of telescope and camera you got, but boy, that's wonderful. It is the waxing gibbous moon. It's actually the first quarter as of right now, and the full moon is going to be on not quite Valentine, but just after that, on the 16th. So still be a big, beautiful moon on Valentine's. Wow. Boy, that has brightened up quickly. A gorgeous sunrise in store this morning. And this is the coldest time of the morning when you have clear skies, dry air, and very, very light or no wind right as the sun is coming up because it hasn't had a chance to heat things up as of yet. 25 is current temperature Bulverde, 31 New Braunfels, and then mid-20s out in portions of the hill country. And the air is really, really dry. Again, that's one of the reasons why it's allowing temperatures to drop down so much. And we've got still somewhat of a breeze. So, if the wind completely slackened off, we would continue to drop down here in town. If it didn't in the next couple of minutes, doesn't look like it's going to, though. But we do have a wind chill right now of 26 degrees. And then a huge warm up with the dry air here at the surface. That heats up quite easily. Doesn't hold the heat in, but again, doesn't take as much energy to heat up. And that's why temperatures are just going to be going up by leaps and bounds, especially this morning. And then we've got all those clear skies, dry air upstairs in the atmosphere. And that's why we're going to have really, really deep blue sky today. As far as the next few days, nothing is going to be going on here. We're going to have plenty of sunshine, cool mornings, jacket mornings, and then nice in the afternoon, up around 70 tomorrow and the rest of the week. And we do have another front that's going to come through here. That's going to be early on Saturday. Temperatures will start off still kind of mild on Saturday morning, upper 40s, jacket weather, but then we stay at only 60 throughout the day with a few more clouds around here, maybe a couple of showers. And remember, these long-range models always tend to paint things in with a broad brush. So, yes, the chance of rain is there, not a very good chance, and then we clear on out, so it's going to be a fantastic weekend. And then even going in toward Valentine's Day, it looks like it's going to be very nice. So maybe a nice little moonlit midnight stroll, something romantic like that. Anyway. I'm getting a look from him like
I didn't know if that's something you're going to do or if that was a suggestion.
Suggestion.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Midnight, I'll be snoozing. So anyway, hi. 58 degrees at noon, sunny skies. I'm just going to get back on focus here. And then a high temperature today up to 66. We're just trying to help out the gentlemen out there with all these different ideas. 66 for high temperature today. And the next couple of mornings, yes, jacket weather and then warm in the afternoon. Front comes through, maybe a shower Saturday. And then, of course, Monday is
Ta-da.
Ta-da! Don't get in trouble day.
Don't get in trouble day.
I mean,
Exactly.
Valentine's Day. Yes. We appreciate your public service announcements, community service, whatever you want to call it, Mike.
It gives everybody time to prepare.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of having all the guys lined, because it is Super Bowl Sunday, so, you know,
yeah.
make sure you shop ahead, because usually they're...
Honey, I got to go get stuff for nachos.
At the,
and a card.
The cards, section, everybody's just lined up, doing this. There.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there. I'll see you there, Mike.
Okay.
6:49, about 32 degrees.
And tomorrow on GMSA, a look at some of the things to do here in San Antonio this month, including things you may not have thought about.
That's right. You may not have thought about going outside with CityCam, and it's warmer this way. See sunrise out there? Mm-hmm. Very nice. Going to be a good day. We'll be right back.
Coming up, the big shift on school mask mandates. Several states are announcing they'll be dropping them as COVID cases drop as well. The reaction to that big decision this morning and so much more right here on GMA.
A house fire turns deadly for one woman here on the north side. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. Firefighters say they found her inside her home here after they were able to knock down the fire. This fire breaking out around 5:30 this morning. This street is called Mitre. This is not far from Loop 410 and Blanco. Firefighters got here. They say they found heavy fire in a back bedroom of the home, flames and smoke throughout. They were able to knock it down, but it was not in time for them to save the woman. They had tried to get through all of that to get to her in that bedroom. Again, she was bedridden, but firefighters tell us they were not able to do that. That woman's 67 years old. They also found her husband here at the scene. He managed to make it out of the home, but he was taken to a hospital to be evaluated for possible smoke inhalation. And right now, we have fire investigators here who are going to try to figure out how this fire started. Reporting from the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And a long night and early hours for these first responders out here off 37 at I-10. We can see these flashing lights have been out there for quite a while. As we take a closer look at TransGuide, I want to bring the camera in if we can because we really want to show the scene right now. You can see it has been a long night. Again, this scene has not cleared up. Seeing a buildup of the map right there on the westbound lanes of I-10, 17 miles per hour, I-37 southbound at I-10. Not a good place to be right now, Mike.
Don't toss to me.
Oh.
Are we going to toss to me? It's 66 degrees right now, but let's go back over to you. Or 66 degrees for high temperature, pardon me. I'm looking at what Stephanie is presenting you over there.
Hey, howdy guys. Thank you all so much.
Wind chills are in the 20s right now, so.
Well, hey, the weather's going to be good for the birthday then. Thank you guys.
Let's see the camera. What you got?
We got a birthday cake. Hey, thank you guys. This is really nice.
Cookie cake.
Oh, well, thank you guys.
Cake.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for the well wishes, and I will be off with this cake.
Happy birthday, Stephen.
Oh, yes. That is a very serious photo.
Why is that scary? What's wrong with serious, Stephen?
Listen, you guys make me happy. I'm happy to be here, so it's all smiles now. So thank you guys so much for the well wishes, and shout out to Stephanie Jimenez as well for her birthday today.
As well.
And shout out to my sisters. Their birthdays are in the next 2 days as well. So Wednesday and
lots going on this week.
A lot of celebrating.
Huh? What kind of cake is that?
It's a cookie cake.
Cookie cake.
I'll be happy to share some with you guys.
Well, you're good at deflecting the attention, but we want you to enjoy your birthday today,
Thank
Stephen.
you guys so much. I appreciate all your.
Sarah Costa's in the studio behind one of these cameras, ready to take some more selfies. Yep. So happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Happy
From your
birthday.
GMSA family.
Oh, love you guys.
Taking a picture over there. There you go. Okay.
Have a great day, everybody.
And we'll see you back here at 9.
Good Morning America is next.
Oh.